Hey everybody, what is up? It's been a while, but I am back to do my labor and delivery story. This is London Marie. This is my baby girl. She turned 6 months yesterday. Today is November 29th. It is a Thursday. And I took off work. Let me zoom out a little bit. That's a little better. I took off work today to take her to her 6 month checkup. Finally got the house to ourselves. Some quiet time. So I'm like, let me do a YouTube video. I miss my YouTube so much. I think the last video that I posted, I was like 20 weeks pregnant with her. So now she's 6 months. And, you know, here and there I'll have people on my Instagram. Follow me if you don't, KeitaBlue7, who say, oh, I miss your YouTube videos. Or, oh, what have you guys been up to? Or, oh, I remember you from YouTube, things like that, because I was, you know, heavy into YouTube back in the day before YouTube was this huge platform. I just would do it for fun. So sometimes I do want to get back in it, but as you guys know, the older you get, life comes at you. You don't always have the time or the energy to put into something like this. But I'm back today to tell my labor and delivery story. So I'm going to just go into when I went into labor. So my due date was May 28th. So I took my last day of work was like May 23rd, 5 days before my due date. And so those 5 days I just stayed home by myself, you know, got the house prepared, had my hospital bag, you know, everything like that. But I just really chilled, stayed off my feet. Everybody, including myself, thought London was going to come a little early because she, well, when I was 30 weeks and 5 days, almost 31 weeks, somebody rear-ended me. Totaled my car. I was fine. London was fine. But when you are that far into your pregnancy, you get in a car accident, they have to monitor you. So when I went to the emergency room to get monitored, I was 3 centimeters dilated, I think. And I was like, you know, 31 weeks pregnant. So they were very concerned. I was concerned. Everybody thought London was going to come early, but she didn't. You know, right at my due date, I was home. I was chilling. So I think like my due date was around the holidays. So we were going to have that Monday off work. So I guess it was my actual due date. It was May 28th, my actual due date. And I was just like, I woke up, and I'm like, okay, I'm still pregnant. Let's get up. Let's go shop, do whatever. So Larry, myself, and Liam, we got in the car. We packed up a lot of stuff in the baby shower that, you know, we wanted to exchange or return. You guys know when you get like a ton of stuff, but some things you may, I wanted to get like some newborn diapers versus, you know, size 1 diapers. Or I wanted to get like some sensitive diapers and wipes versus just regular diapers and wipes because I like to use sensitive on my babies. So I, you know, we loaded up the car. We drove down to Target, you know, shop, walking all around Target, returning, exchanging, doing all of that. And I remember I was in the bathroom and this girl was just like, I'm like, oh, she was big and pregnant. I'm big and pregnant. We're like, oh, look at you, da da da. I'm like, oh, how far along are you? She was just like, oh, and she told me she was like 6 months pregnant, 7, 8, I don't know. And then they were just like, oh, what about you? How far along are you? And I'm like, today's my due date. And they're like, what? So it was just really funny because that happened to me twice on my due date. Somebody asked me, oh, well, that happened. And then when we pulled up to my house, I saw my neighbor. And they said, when are you due again? When are you due? And I'm like, I'm due today. So it's just crazy on your due date and you're up walking around. I know what happens, but with Liam, I was induced. So I really didn't experience that. I got induced a week before my due date with Liam. So anyway, we went to Target, did all that. And then I'm also getting stuff for my breast pump and a pump and bra. You know, I'm just doing other stuff. We drove down to Walmart, just shopping and walking. Then we went to Sardi's. We sat and ate some Peruvian chicken and rice. Then we called my neighbor because she was going to give us a changing table. This changing table right here. So we went down to my neighbor's twins' townhouse, not too far from us, and we picked up the changing table. Then we went to Dunkin' Donuts, and then we finally went home. By the time we got home, it was like going on 8 o'clock. I'm sitting on the sofa. I think I was watching either Potomac Housewives or Married to Medicine. I don't remember. One of those Bravo shows. And I was eating some more Sardi's. And that's when I felt my first contraction. And on my due date, like 8 p.m. So I was just like, ouch. Like that had to have been a contraction. First time I had ever felt a pain like that. So then I told Larry, you know, he was in the basement. I'm like, I think I just felt a contraction. So I go, you know, finish doing my thing. I go to throw my food away, and that's when I felt my second contraction, maybe a little over 10 minutes later. And so Liam was right there. Liam was 3 years old at this time. He's now 4. And he was just, and I had to stop and freeze and just breathe through the pain. And he said, Mommy, are you okay? Mommy, what's wrong? And I said, your little sister about to come out my stomach, because that was the only thing I could think of, and it was the truth. Like, ooh, those contractions really hurt. So then, right after that, I cut off the TV. I said, come on, Liam, let's go upstairs. I text everybody in my family. I just had 2 contractions. I called Larry from the basement. I'm like, Larry, I'm having contractions. Like, we need to go to the hospital. So, I started packing up. My sister's just like one of my older sisters, Nicole. I have 2 older sisters, Jerry and Nicole. And Nicole was just like, go to the hospital right now. You guys know I'm a high-risk pregnancy. I had 2 open heart surgeries and everything. So it was just like, since I was going into labor naturally, since I had a complication-free pregnancy with both babies, Liam was complication-free delivery, they just wanted me to do everything natural this time, and they didn't feel the need to induce. But it still was, you know, a little, I guess, like you need to get to the hospital as soon as you feel a contraction. So I was just like, yes. But in the back of my mind, I was just like, my contractions are, yeah, she's very talkative. So I was just like, okay, my contractions are like a little over 10 minutes apart. Let me take a shower. So I took a shower, called my parents and everything, seeing who was going to go get Liam. And started heading to the hospital. My parents started headed to the hospital. Both my sisters started headed to the hospital at the same time Larry and I did. So we're all going to the hospital. And by this time, I was counting my contractions on the app. And they had to have been like 2 minutes apart. It was the most painful thing I had ever felt. I just wanted to scream and rip my hair out. You guys know, like, when you see women in labor in TV and they're in this crazy pain, like that's what I was feeling. But I was on speakerphone with my mom, with my sisters, and I just didn't want to let on to the pain. And the same thing with Larry and Liam, like, I just, yes, baby, yes, baby, yes, little girl, look at this smile. I just didn't want to let on to how much pain I was in, because I didn't want to worry people. I know, crazy, right? So, anyway, and I also forgot to say, when I was at home, I wanted to take a shower before I went to the hospital, because, you know, you're about to be new and be birthing your baby. You want to be clean up. Like I said, we had walked all around from early in the morning to 8 p.m. So I had to take a shower. And when I was in the shower, I was on the phone with my doctor's office. And they were just like, oh, well, they're like 10, 13 minutes apart. We like for them to be 5 to 7 minutes apart. So you can wait at home and labor a little bit longer. And I was just like, sure, okay. As soon as I was done with the shower, I got dressed and we left. It was no way I was waiting any longer. They always tell women to wait. But I feel like if you know you're in active labor, go to the hospital, especially if it's on your due date like me. So by the time we get to the hospital, my sister Nicole got there first. Then my parents, my sister Yuri, and then Larry and I got there. So we get in, and I'm like limping in. They didn't have a wheelchair for me. Finally, they got me a wheelchair. They're like speeding me up. My father got our car and parked it for us. And so we go up to the labor delivery. They only let me and Larry back. So Liam stayed behind with my sisters and my mother and my father. So we go up there to check in, and they are just, in my opinion, moving so slow. And I'm like, ugh. Woo, doing the whole woman in labor that you see on TV because I was feeling this extreme pain. I wasn't like exaggerating or nothing. Like I was in the worst pain in my life. So I feel like they're moving slow, but they finally get me to a little room where they can observe me before they, I guess, admit me. So once I get into that room, they say go to the bathroom, take off all your clothes. When I took off all my clothes and my, underwear came off, it was blood. So I'm like, okay. So I go sit down, and then I'm like, okay, I'm bleeding. So then they check me, and she's like, you're 5 centimeters dilated. Can you guys believe that? 5 centimeters dilated. And this doctor, not even an hour, maybe not even 2 hours ago, told me I need to stay at home and wait till my contractions got longer. No, ladies, go to the hospital, okay? So she was just like, and it was the same lady who checked me, who I was talking on the phone. And she was just like, wow, I'm glad you must know your body. And I think she felt a little crazy. She had told me to wait at home an hour ago. So anyway, so I was just like, I need the epidural. Can I get the epidural? She's just like, yes, we can still get you your epidural. We just got to get you to the other room. So I turn over and I just start throwing up all of the chicken I ate, all of the rice, all of the food, because you guys know your body gets rid of everything you ate. So I'm like throwing it all up. Mind you, my sisters and my mom and dad are still on speakerphone in the room, and then it's just me and Larry in the room, a couple nurses and everything. So we get me to the rolling bed, and I finally get to the labor and delivery room, and I get my epidural. It was just me and 2 nurses in the room, and this nurse, my contractions were coming back to back. It was like contraction, stop. Contraction, stop. Contraction, like it was no breaks where she could even really get me my epidural. So she would just massage my lower back and press on it, and I was hugging her and squeezing the other lady's hand, and it was just like so crazy. So finally I sat still enough for her to give me my epidural, and it kicked in. I got up on the bed, and all of my family came in the room, including my 3-year-old son, Liam. And I guess by that time, I was like 8 to 9 centimeters. By the time all of this moving had happened, the epidural kicked in, and I didn't feel any more pain by the time all of them had came in the room. And so we were just chilling. It was time for me to push, and I was pushing and pushing. I got it on video. Thank goodness my mother recorded it. I also have Liam's birth on video. And then I pushed out London. And so that was it. When I pushed her out, a gush of blood came out. Of course, I didn't see or feel it, but this is what, I now know happened. And so I was bleeding a lot. No one could really tell me why. They think it's because my labor progressed so quickly. I think I started my labor on the 27th. No, I started my labor on the 28th. No, I started my labor on the 27th. Excuse me. The 27th was my due date, and London came on the 28th. Her birthday is May 28th. So all this was happening on the 27th. Started at 8 p.m., and she came at like 1 a.m. So literally an hour after her due date, she came. So, it was an extremely fast labor. She's extremely happy and sweet. London, you want to smile? You smile for everybody. Look, London, look, girl. So, yes, that's my labor and delivery story. I want to record some more. I'm going to try to record some more videos just about life update. I have so much going on with graduate school. Yes, I did graduate. Larry and I both are graduating from grad school very, very soon. So that's another story to tell. Being pregnant, having a newborn, doing this over the past couple years, and just life in general. New job. I got hired at a new job when I was 5 months pregnant with London, and no one knew. I told my supervisor on the first day, but I really didn't tell none of the other staff until maybe a month later. So it's just a lot of interesting information about pregnancy, work, life, career. I am going to have some more free time in December to maybe record around Christmas or after Christmas. So I'll try to get in some more videos then. But I hope you guys enjoyed my labor and delivery story. It was a very fun and interesting delivery. And now we have London Marie to go along with Liam Alexander. And we are extremely happy and extremely blessed. And of course, we also have Little Larry, aka Larry Bird III. So we are extremely happy, extremely blessed, and extremely busy. So stay tuned for the next video, and thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, bye, London. And bye, baby. All right, see you guys later.